Hello everyone and welcome back to our skill tree series. In the last episode we worked on our prerequisites. In this episode though we're going to be working on our buttons to be clicked on, increase our skill rank and unlock new skills. So let's take a look at how that works in action. Okay, so obviously the first thing we need to work on is the button. So let's go to the UI, go to our skill slot, and we want to choose the button for skill and do on clicked. And on clicked is going to get the component and take it to assign the skill. So we're going to get the player character, get the component by class, and then choose our skills component. Okay, and then from there we can do the assign skill. And the skill we're assigning is the skill data that's been assigned to this button. And that'll go through the motions of updating the skills and so on. Now, what we want it to do though, is we want it to increase the number that's been shown here. So this is the tier for the text. So we want that number to change based upon what skills we've got in our map, on our component. So if you saw when we done assign skill, it's going to call the event dispatcher last time we set that up. And that's going to trigger our check prerequisites. Now, part of this could also be getting the tier that it has to be part of. So for that, we're going to take the component here and we do query skill. Again, you want to put in the skill you want to query. And then the rank here will be tied to the text for the tier. So set text. Plug that in. And then plug the rank into the text field there. So next, we are going to make our UI appear on the screen so we can actually test it. So let's go over to our AC skills. We'll make a function for this called display skill tree. And we'll do create widget, skill tree window, connect to variable, and then add to viewport. And at the start of this, because we make it toggle it off and on, if I take that reference out for the skill tree window and convert it to a validated get, if it's not valid, that's when it's going to create it. But if it is valid, we're going to remove it. So we take the skill tree window, move from parent, and clear the reference. Okay. So then I'll go to the player character. And I'll set up a basic input to display this thing. So just do like the 1 key for now. To do that, we drag out our skills, and we're going to do our skills window. Oh, display skill tree, sorry. There we go. Okay, so with that done, hit the 1 key, and there's my skill tree window. Okay, now for this to be working as well, I need to change my input mode to UI, and I need to be able to see my mouse cursor. But as you can see, the 0 is appearing correctly because we've got nothing there. So let's go ahead and turn that on. So let's go back to our skill tree window. And on the construct for the window here, we're going to get the player controller, set the input mode to UI only, and dragging out from the controller again, we're going to set mouse cursor to show. And then when you want it to disappear, we can do on the destruct of this, basically do the opposite. So take the player controller, set input mode, game, and set show mouse cursor to false. Okay, so hit 1, there's my cursor, Okay, so now I can click on our skills. You see a number going up. Now this one isn't going up when I click on it, only when I click on the other one. And I think I know the reason why. So the reason being that on the skills component, our call on skills update is happening in the wrong location, or it's not being met. So that's what triggers the number to increase. So we want to make sure it's playing for both is valid and not valid. So we can actually just put that somewhere else. In fact, we'll just put it before. Yeah. Let's tidy up the skills lines coming out of here. Get skill and get skill. You know, it's a little bit tidier. Yeah, so now that will call no matter what and update both of those slots at the right time. So I click on this one, it increases, click on that one, that increases. Okay. Now these go up infinitely, there's no cap to them. So obviously we want it to be a cap. And the cap is going to be based upon the value inside of the data asset. So the data asset, we have these values. And so if there are only 3 values, we only want to go up to 3 times. So if I go look at my heavy strike, got the sword specialization, we see here we've got 3 values for each tier, 1, 2, 3. And I want to make sure that it can't go above tier 3. So when we go to assign a skill, let's go to AC skills. At the start here, we want to check to see whether or not we can actually do this. So we're going to have the condition here as an AND, Boolean. And the second condition is going to be checking the skills assigned and the plus here, so we need all of that. I'll tell you what, we'll keep it a bit tidier. We'll just put that there and copy it, put it over here. So if the current value of the skill, if that is greater than the values inside of here. So get values, and I want to get the number of keys in here. Annoying, like this is gonna be annoying because like I have to feed this in, it's gonna get messy, blah blah blah. What I could also do is make a little function on my data asset to return how many values it has. So if I go into functions here and go get number of tiers, I can get the values, keys, and return the length of those. And return the length. If I make that a pure function, it makes it a lot easier when I come back to here. Rather than doing that and doing this, I can get the skills here, get number of tiers, and get the results like that. Another great use of using data assets. So number of tiers here, I'm going to see if that equal to this value or is greater than or less than. So let's work out mathematically. So we've got skills assigned, we're finding the skill and finding the values assigned to the skill. The values can be set to 1, 2, or 3, for example. So the first tier will be set to 1. If number of tiers is set to 1 as well, great, we don't want to do any more. If the value of this is greater than or equal to this value, then great, I don't want to do it anymore. So I want to say if this value here is less than the number of tiers, there. Oh, sorry, less than or equal to, sorry. Less than or equal to. Okay. So if the new tier is going to be tier 2 and we have 2 tiers, that's fine. But if the tier is becoming 3 and we only got 2 tiers, we don't want it to do anything. So it's going to go through there and increase that. So our sword specialization has 3 tiers, and our heavy strike here will make it have 1 tier. Okay. And if I go play that now, I can click on heavy strike once, and that's it. And I can click on this one 3 times, and that's it. So next is the prerequisites. So at the moment we haven't shown any prerequisites. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say the heavy strike needs to have the sword specialization completed. So I'm going to go to prerequisites here, add to this one, sword specialization. So now I'll go back into the game. one. Now you can see it's disabled, so it's all grayed out. It's all faded. I can't click on it. But if I click on this, 1, 2, oh, 3. I've messed up something there. So you can see we went to 2 and not 3. So he thinks 2 was completed. So let's go double check the prerequisites met thing, because I think I've done the math wrong there. Prerequisites met. So the issue is that we're getting the rank here, which is 1, 2, or 3, for example. It's not 0 based, but indexes are 0 based. And so what I didn't do was I need to get the actual last index of it. So if I do get a copy of the last index and then put that into there, that should be better. In fact, I'll make this a little bit nicer too. I'll say if this rank here is greater than or equal to that value. It shouldn't ever go greater than, but just in case. So now 1, 2, 3, and it lights up this one. I can click on that, and away we go. This error, by the way, you're seeing here is literally because I'm closing the window with the UI open. So if you want to ever stop that event happening, just take the get player controller and check if it's valid when it closes. Obviously, the game's shutting down. It's not actually an error. Now stop that error coming up. See? There you go. We can now click on interact with our skills and unlock skills as we go. The next part is I want to do is I want to add a little line indicating and communicating to the player what skills are linked to what, so you know what wants to unlock. And that will also show the progress the player is making towards the next skill. So you can watch that next part right now over on patreon.com/Ryan Laley. You can find all my videos early before everyone else. A massive thank you to all our patrons and YouTube members for the continued support in the channel. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, everyone.